In this picture, I was looking at the New Palace Theatre on Union Street in Plymouth, which opened in 1898. It was actually originally the Palace Theatre. It burned down and then reopened in 1899 as the New Palace Theatre. It's been closed since 2006, but I like the idea that essentially hardly any expense was spared in building it. It attracted people from all over the world, and some of the tiles and the artwork and the staircase remain, even though it's in significant disrepair. And I think likely due to the reference to the new, I've essentially drawn a rose, which is goddess symbolism, but also I see this connection between the theatre and the spirit. So the idea of creativity come to life through words, through acting, through the scenery, with it being a collaborative effort. And I think partly that's what these three sort of strands that come off, almost like arms or extra petals. There actually were several other theatres along Union Street too, so it would have been quite a bustling, creative place. Over on the right-hand side, there's this sort of icon that's like a face, a female face that looks a bit like it's got a shrimp on her head, possibly holding another figure here with a red hat on. And I kind of liken this idea to the theatre icon, which is usually two masks. So the idea of putting on and off masks to play roles. This is just looking more closely at that rose, which actually has a female figure on the left-hand side, just sort of like a vague outline, almost as if she's looking here into the centre. It looks a bit like it's got a squirrel diver right into the middle. And then around the outside, there's like clouds with a bit of blue in, related to the sky. Below that, there's this kind of heart shape, which reminds me, when people do that with their hands. And I can kind of see a couple of faces in there, but it's not particularly clear. But there's also, I drew two of these little diamonds, which I think is this idea of like windows into other worlds through watching theatre plays, and also seeing ourselves represented through diversity. There looks like a figure below that that's like riding a wave of some kind. And then on the left-hand side, there's some more figures here, which I guess is this idea of a cast being all dressed up. It looks like two figures laying down, but it doesn't look like they're dead. It looks like they're lying on their fronts, watching something that's happening in the distance. There's this sort of different colours in the sky, but in the middle of that, I see like a female figure in white. It's like she's got one foot up on a step, watching what's happening. And then within those three different arms that swoosh out, here I kind of see somebody with a mitre hat on, so bishop-like, it looks like a black person. And I can kind of see a figure at the top here that looks like they've got a big rounded belly, like a beer belly. There's that other little window. And there's this figure there here in blue with like their arms, I don't know, swooshing about. I think it's a shame that so many of these places have fallen into disrepair and there's a lack of funding and vision for the arts. I really see it as a way that we can help to solve problems, being more creative. Thanks for listening.